Hey everyone, Dr. Leo Krawetz, a Healthy Feet Podiatry. Today I got a good one. It's a wart on the little toe, and it hurts a lot for this patient. So she came in, she didn't know what she had in her foot, and we took a look, and I trimmed down the dead skin. She had a little corn here, what she thought was a corn, but the key thing with a wart, and the way we know it's a wart, when we trim the corn, and we see pinpoint bleeding, and that's pinpoint bleeding, we know that it's a wart because there's capillary system that comes up to the skin, and when you remove the dead hyperkeratotic skin, which is the thickened corn, you actually see bleeding, and it's pinpoint bleeding on debridement is the key phrase that we use, and that's the key giveaway to a wart. And when you look at this, you can see up close, let's see on the camera, can we see that? Yeah. When you see up close, you can actually see the demarcation of the wart. You see the circle around there? That's where the wart is. And that circle is really just it's the end of all the good skin. So all the skin lines end at the wart. So you have skin lines going through this way and they stop abruptly at a wart. And that's how you know that it's a wart. So what I did was I numbed her up. I gave her a shot in the toe, and I'm going to actually cut around that circle area, but I'm going to take a little more cells than that, and we're going to put some cautery on that as well, because these tend to bleed a lot when we cut them out. A wart is a bunch of viral particles in the skin, so there's actually millions of viral particles in there. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. I'm going to cut, and we're going to see. Do you feel any pain up there? Nothing. Okay, good. So I'm going to go in a circle here. And what I'm doing is circumscribing the wart. And if it gets a little bloody, I might end up putting more local anesthetic in there with a little bit more epinephrine. Right now, I do not have any epinephrine in this. But sometimes we'll put epinephrine in it so it doesn't bleed. Epinephrine is a vasoconstrictor. It causes the little capillaries to close up so there's no bleeding. So now you can see as I go around this, it actually kind of falls into the area where I want to be, which is the bottom layer of skin. It's the dermal epidermal junction, and you can see I'm underneath it right now, and I can feel it that I've got underneath the bottom right there, and this is the whole wart right here. So I'm going to set this in here again, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like. Actually, I'll pull it with this since I don't have an instrument to pull it with, but you can see when I pick this up, this was in here like this. This is all the viral particles, and underneath it, on the bottom, if you get close up there, Alexia, you see that? It's kind of cool. Those are all the viral particles right there in the wart itself. So there are still more at the base. I'm going to wipe this down so you can see. That's the base of it. And what I'm going to do is scrape that base with a curette. We also call it an ice cream scooper. Even though there's not ice cream, it's not a treat. Definitely not a treat to have a wart. So I'm going to scrape this down, and what I'm doing is just trying to get the base of this and any other particles that may be in there, and then we're going to cauterize it and burn it with silver nitrate. So you'll hear the celery sound. We call it celery crunching sound when we scrape this, and that's how we know we're at the base of the on the bottom of the wart, which is the bottom layer of the epidermis. The stratum granativum is what it's called, and that's what we're scraping. And we know we got all that, and I'm going to take a look at the screen myself too, and we can see it looks really good there, and we're going to cauterize that center part. You can see these are very vascular and bleed a lot, and now you can see the cautery there. You see how it turns black? That's how we know we're cauterizing it. This is silver nitrate. It's still going to want to bleed, so it's not going to be completely cauterized, but good enough. It's also going to kill any of the viral particles that may be remaining because it's burning them. And the body's going to respond and see that there's something there that's not supposed to be there, and it's actually going to fight off the remaining viral particles. We got most of them out in that clump, and that's it. So we burned it, cauterized it, and we can see the edges. If we look at the edges right here, you can see skin lines going through, and that's how we know that there's no wart there. So there's still a little bit of oozing there, but we're not going to be able to get this perfectly as far as the bleeding goes, but good enough. But if we didn't put this there, it would bleed like crazy. Also, we know that this is gonna kill a lot more of the particles. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We're just gonna put some Blvd, and Blvd is actually great for burns. It's antiviral, antifungal, and antibacterial. And we're gonna put a little wrapping around the toe. It's a little toe, but we're gonna put a nice wrapping here. We're gonna take this off. This was a little device that the patient recommended. Very smart patient, to hold the toe away because she wanted her toe in good view of the camera. And that's it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We got rid of the virus. We're gonna send this to pathology, make sure it's a wart. I'm sure it's gonna come back a wart. And then she'll come in 2 weeks to follow up. In the meantime, she'll just clean it with soap and water, put Neosporin in a Band-Aid, and a little piece of cotton between the toes to keep it separated because it will be a little sore. And 2 weeks after the 2-week follow-up, which is 4 weeks, it should be closed up, healed, and hopefully no recurrence. There is a 50% recurrence rate on these, but we're gonna have her clean everything with bleach, including the bathtub and the shower that she showers in, and anything she puts her foot in, including sandals or anything where she's wearing an open-toed shoe without a sock. And that's all we have, and maybe we'll see in a couple weeks if there's any recurrence and show you a follow-up. Hopefully, we will not have to make that video. Have a great day. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. Thanks.